Okay, picture this. A 15-year-old boy dealing with lymphoblastic leukemia. And if that wasn't enough, the chemo just hammered his immune system, leading to this awful flesh-eating fungal infection in his lungs. He actually lost one lung completely. Infection spread to the other. Doctors basically said 2 days to live. And his only request, in what they thought were his final hours, I want to go outside. Just that. So what happens next is, well, it's pretty incredible. No change in meds, nothing like that. They wheel him outside for a few days, and suddenly his white blood cell count drops. His oxygen needs improve, like, dramatically. And a CT scan, it showed 60, maybe 70% of that horrible infection had just cleared. He pulled through, went home, even got his Make-A-Wish trip. So the big question is, what on earth changed?
Well, the only thing that really changed fundamentally was getting sunlight exposure. Plus, they use this device, a Firefly red and infrared light therapy device. Think of it like bathing cells and specific light waves. And just generally being out in nature, it seems these simple things really kickstarted his immune system.
This story is central to Dr. Roger Seheult's article, The Most Important Health Advice I Can Give. This Will Save Lives. It's really a fascinating look at health approaches that blend personal stories, solid research, and how our bodies actually work.
Okay, yeah, let's definitely unpack this. So our mission here in this deep dive is to pull out the key insights from Dr. Seheult. We want to help you understand this maybe overlooked healing power of light, but also these basic lifestyle choices. And it gets really interesting because Dr. Seheult argues that sunlight is doing way more for us than just making vitamin D.
Exactly. That's one of his core points. And what's really striking is his claim about infrared light from the sun. He says it can penetrate the skin up to, get this, 8 centimeters deep.
8 centimeters.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Think about it like hearing bass music through a wall, right? The low frequency travels further. Infrared light has a long wavelength, so it can get deep inside the body. That makes it potentially therapeutic for internal stuff like infections, inflammation, unlike UV light, which is mostly skin deep.
So, okay, it gets deep, but what's it actually doing in there? Does he explain the mechanism? Because, light healing internal organs, that sounds pretty revolutionary.
He does, absolutely. And this is where it ties into his main idea, the mitochondrial model of aging and disease. Remember, mitochondria are like the little engines in our cells, right? They generate energy. Dr. Seheult explains that red and infrared light, whether from the sun or these devices, directly stimulate those mitochondria. It's sort of like giving your cellular power plants a direct boost.
Okay, and when those engines aren't running well,
Yeah.
is that the oxidative stress thing he talks about?
Precisely. Oxidative stress is like rust or sludge in the engine. It's damage from unstable molecules, free radicals. And this stress damages mitochondria, which speeds up aging and contributes to disease. So the red and infrared light, it acts kind of like a coolant and a repair system. It helps reduce that oxidative stress, keeps the mitochondria working better. He draws an analogy to a car engine needing a radiator. Our cells, he suggests, need light to manage this stress and keep energy flowing. And this isn't just about feeling tired. It connects to preventing major diseases, dementia, heart disease, diabetes, chronic fatigue.
That's a huge connection that something as basic as light could tackle the root of so many chronic issues. Now, beyond this direct mitochondrial effect, did he mention other ways sunlight affects us internally? I think you mentioned something about melatonin, but outside of sleep. That sounds weird.
It does sound counterintuitive, but yeah, it's a crucial point he makes. We all think melatonin equals sleep. But Dr. Seheult emphasizes that daytime sunlight exposure actually regulates melatonin's other roles. It acts as a really potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory agent even while you're awake. So it impacts inflammation, immunity, metabolic problems, separate from its sleep function. It just shows sunlight is way more complex, like a signaling system, not just a vitamin factory.
And it seems this isn't exactly brand new thinking either. He mentioned historical stuff.
Right. The history is quite compelling. He points to old studies, even just observations, that patients in hospital beds near windows tended to recover faster. And older hospital designs, they often had these outdoor verandas, solariums. The idea was that fresh air and sunlight were part of the cure. It's like this old wisdom is now getting backed up by the science of mitochondria and light wavelengths.
Okay, so if our cell engines are vital and light is a key factor, how does Dr. Seheult translate this into practical advice? That's where his New Start thing comes in, right?
Exactly. The New Start framework is his way of structuring this into actionable steps for longevity and preventing disease. It's an acronym, NEWSTART, covering 8 foundational health pillars, designed to be simple but deep.
Let's maybe touch on a couple of those. They sound simple, but I bet there's more to it. Like N for nutrition. What's the angle there?
Yeah, for nutrition, the focus is strongly on whole, unprocessed foods. Dr. Seheult's point is that food isn't just fuel, it's information for your cells. It affects everything, your genes, hormones, immune system. It's about truly nourishing the body from the cell up.
And S for sunlight, we've talked a lot about that. But how does it fit into this broader framework?
Well, within New Start, the S just reinforces what we discussed, the importance of those specific infrared wavelengths for mitochondrial health, for reducing stress at a cellular level, cutting down disease risk. It's not just go outside, it's understanding why that light matters so much internally.
Hmm. And our for rest, you mentioned it wasn't just sleep, but also these Sabbath-like breaks. What's that about?
Right, R for rest covers good sleep, definitely. But also building in daily moments of calm. And yes, these weekly sort of extended breaks for real regeneration. It's mental and emotional too, not just physical. That dedicated downtime lets your body's repair systems really work, resets stress hormones, builds resilience. He sees it as non-negotiable.
And connecting this back, he also brought up the COVID-19 pandemic, didn't he? Saying that many who did poorly already had these metabolic issues, which ties back to the mitochondria again. It kind of reframes the battle, doesn't it? Suggesting the real issue was often the underlying health, the weakened cellular energy systems.
It really does shift the perspective. His argument is that strengthening these basic pillars, nutrition, light, rest, movement, could have made a huge difference in outcomes, essentially creating a stronger internal environment where the body could better defend itself and heal.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here from Dr. Seheult's work, it seems like?
Well, the truth about healing and staying healthy might be less about complex fixes and more about strengthening these fundamental things. We've heard how simple stuff, sunlight, air, rest, good food, moving your body can have these massive effects right down to our cells, our mitochondria.
Absolutely. That story of the boy is just so powerful, isn't it? And then New Start framework really drives home that knowing isn't enough. It's about applying it. It pushes us to look past just symptoms and think about these core health foundations, which leads to a pretty big question for you, the listener, to think about. How different would things be for us individually and maybe as a society if we really embraced these simple, powerful, science-backed ideas about light and lifestyle?
Yeah. Definitely something to chew on, and maybe explore on your own. Just imagine what healthcare could look like if hospitals were actually designed with nature and light as like primary healing tools, not just nice extras. What would that mean for you or for someone you care about? And how do we even get there?